A knock on the weathered wooden door of a modest two-bedroom house changed everything for Jack Miller, a struggling single dad working 2 jobs just to keep food on the table for his 8-year-old daughter Lily, because when he opened that door, he met Emily, a quiet, polite college girl looking for a place to rent. But little did Jack know that behind her soft eyes and simple clothes hid the truth. That she was the daughter of one of the richest men in the state, a millionaire heiress running from a life of privilege and pain, seeking anonymity and freedom in the unlikeliest of places. And before I dive into this breathtaking story full of twists, heartbreak, and shocking revelations, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss stories that grip your heart and keep you on the edge of your seat. From the moment Emily stepped into Jack's small but warm home, there was a shift in the air, because Jack, hardened by years of responsibility and abandonment after his wife left him, wasn't used to strangers, and yet something about Emily made him pause. Maybe it was the way she looked around the room as though she had never been in a home that felt alive, or maybe it was the way Lily immediately tugged at Emily's hand as if she had known her forever, and though Jack wanted to say no, because he couldn't risk bringing someone untrustworthy into his daughter's life, the desperation in Emily's eyes, mixed with her insistence that she could pay rent on time, convinced him, though he had no clue the rent money she offered came from pocket change compared to the fortune she secretly had access to. For weeks, things went smoothly. Emily went to classes in the day, helped Lily with homework in the evenings, and sometimes cooked dinner with Jack, who found himself laughing in ways he hadn't laughed in years. And while he fought against it, he began to feel warmth he thought he'd lost forever. But shadows lingered around Emily, because though she looked like a broke college girl, there were moments she slipped. A phone call from a driver begging her to come home, the time Jack found her crying after reading a newspaper article about her father's business empire, or the way she flinched every time Lily innocently asked about her family. The truth, though buried, had a way of surfacing, and it came faster than Emily was ready for, because one evening, while she was walking home from class, a sleek black car pulled up beside her, and out stepped a man in a suit, her father's attorney, who pleaded with her to return home because her father was sick. But Emily refused, saying she was tired of being a pawn in business deals and charity events, tired of being locked in a golden cage, and for once in her life, she wanted to live like a real person, where love wasn't measured by money. Jack, seeing the scene from a distance, became suspicious, and that night he confronted Emily, asking who she really was, but instead of answering, she broke down, confessing that she wasn't just any girl. She was Emily Harrington, the daughter of Charles Harrington, a name Jack immediately recognized because Charles was one of the wealthiest, most powerful men in the country, a man whose name filled magazines, headlines, and billboards, and Jack's world tilted because he couldn't reconcile the humble, kind Emily he knew with the image of privilege he had always despised. Jack tried to push her away, telling her she didn't belong in his world, but Lily, with innocent tears, begged him not to send Emily away, because she had become like family. And though Jack hardened his heart, deep down he knew Lily was right, because Emily wasn't her father's money, she was her own person, and she had chosen them. But the world doesn't allow secrets to last forever, and soon reporters swarmed their quiet street after someone spotted Emily leaving Jack's house, cameras flashing, neighbors whispering, and Jack's job hanging by a thread because his boss didn't want scandal tied to the company. And just when Jack thought it couldn't get worse, Charles Harrington himself arrived, not with anger, but with a surprising plea, asking Emily to come home because he was dying, his empire crumbling, and he needed her to take over. But Emily stood her ground, declaring she had found more family in a small, worn house with a struggling single dad and his daughter than she ever had in the mansion she grew up in. Tensions boiled, emotions ran raw, and Jack found himself caught between protecting his daughter, respecting Emily's wishes, and facing the wrath of a world far bigger than his own. And in a stunning twist, Charles, after days of arguments, collapsed in Jack's living room, his health failing, forcing Jack to rush him to the hospital with Emily by his side, where she realized she couldn't run forever, that she had to face her blood family, but she also refused to abandon the new one she had built. The climax came when Charles, lying in his hospital bed, admitted that all he ever wanted was to protect Emily but had gone about it the wrong way, smothering her with wealth and control, and in his final days he begged her forgiveness, asking Jack to look after her when he no longer could. And in that moment the lines between wealth and struggle, privilege and simplicity, melted away. Charles passed, leaving Emily not just a fortune but a choice, and instead of retreating into the old life she hated, she used her inheritance to help people like Jack. Single parents, struggling families, children like Lily who needed hope. And though Jack feared the money would change her, it didn't, because Emily stayed in the small home where love, not wealth, made her belong. The story of the single dad who rented a room to a college girl turned into a story of found family, of unexpected love, of breaking free from the chains of both poverty and privilege, and in the end, Jack realized that sometimes the most extraordinary people walk into your life when you least expect it, carrying secrets that can break you or build you, and in Emily's case, she built something he never thought possible, a home filled with laughter, healing, and the courage to start over.